Hi guys, and welcome to another build video. So today, as you can see by the title of the video and by what I'm actually holding in my hands, we're actually building this kit from Tamiya. It is their Marder II tank destroyer, SDKFZ 131. Now I have done a review of this one, and I will put the link to the review down below in the description, so you can have a look at that if you want to. But this is a really nice little kit. It isn't very big, quite small, but it does have a lot of detail in it. And I really am looking forward to building it. So let's get on and have a look-see. So naturally enough, being a Tamiya kit, it's not going to be too hard to put together. Everything is just about going to fit and fairly straightforward, but like I said, a really nice detailed kit. The good thing about this one, which I like, when you've almost completed it, you can do all the weathering inside, because the actual gun itself just fits straight in as a last item, and then you're finished. So I really do like that. You do get a choice of color schemes, of course. This one's going to be overall dark yellow with some camouflage on top of it, and I am actually going to make it this one with that particular insignia and detailing on it. So I do like that. That's really nice. All right, so first step, as always, and as you can tell, this is an old one because it does have a sprue layout in it, but the first step in this particular kit is building the gun itself. So that's exactly where we're going to start. bottom's done, ready for the tracks, but of course it's going to be painted first. The gun will be painted and weathered, etc. separately. So now we start on the upper hull. So here we are. Basically, the Marder II is complete. Although it doesn't look like it, it is actually at the pre-painting stage. So I haven't attached the sides because I'm going to add some more accessories. And Tamiya unfortunately only gives you one helmet for a crew of 3, so I'm going to grab another couple of helmets and I will attach these inside the fighting compartment, add a bit more lived into it. The upper hull, as you can see, this is a radio rack. So this particular kit from Tamiya is a mid-version kit. So originally the radio was in the driver's compartment, and that's what he did. He not only drove, but he also operated the radio. Later on, they added this rack and put radios in the fighting compartment, which meant that the driver could then help the loader get the shells out of the various positions and load the gun at the same time as the commander operated it. So it improved efficiency adding radios, but of course Tamiya hasn't included radios. I could get some aftermarket radios to put in here, but that would cost me basically the same price as this kit did in the beginning. So that's kind of not economical, really. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create some canvas, either from paper towel or something, to cover this. Basically, it will be a canvas cover for the radios for wet weather, etc. And that'll fill in that gap quite nicely. Otherwise, it's like a gap in a sawtooth. You just keep seeing it, and I don't like that. So anyway, once that's all done, once it's all painted, I'm going to paint the interior section of the fighting compartment as well, detail it up with some weathering, etc. Same with the bottom. So I'm going to paint all this up. The front, of course, will be cream white, and the back will be Dunkelgelb. Then I'm going to weather the actual checker plate in the bottom. That will be all done. Paint the figures. Same for the gun. I'm going to paint this separately and then detail her up and weather her a little bit. So all I then have to do in the end is put her on, and she's done. And same again for the shell compartment. This will be painted up. Everything will be painted up separately, boxes, etc. And even the tools will be painted up separately. And then I'll put those on. And once that's all done, before I put the tools on, but once I've got the fighting compartment and everything together, I'll give the whole thing an overspray again in a dark yellow, and then put it all together. Then we'll add the camouflage, and after that, the weathering. And then it's final reveal time. So, having said that, let's get on and paint these bits and pieces. So, as you can see, everything has been primed, and no, I didn't prime anything in black. I don't normally use a black primer for my vehicles. I normally use the base color as the primer, or actually what I use is the base color primer. This is what I mean. This is Vallejo's Surface Primer, German Dark Yellow 74604 for the 200mm one. And if it's going to be a dark yellow German vehicle like Tiger Tank or something like this, or even a Marder, this is fine. This is the primer and the base color. If I'm going to paint a dark gray, I use this primer, German Panzer Gray. It's the right RAL, 74603 for the 200mm, surface primer and base color. It's perfect for both. I normally reserve black for my figures. It's easier that way with figures. But for dark yellow vehicles, I use this one. Panzer Grey, I use this one. All right, so as I said, it's all been primed. Now all I have to do is detail all of these, like the shells, the interior, the bottom part, and all of the extras I put in, like the water bottles, etc. Paint the machine gun. And once all that's done, and I'm going to keep the tape on it, once all that's done, I'm going to give the whole thing a coat of matte varnish and then put it all together. So here we are. The Marder is painted in overall dark yellow. I have painted the wheels, as you can see, in a dark grey rubber. I've also painted the exhaust pipe with a bit of rust colouring, and also the tools attached to the hull. So that is all done, and so is the gun itself. That's all done. A bit of detailing has been done inside, but that will do for now until final weathering comes along. So now we get to colors, and as you can see, Tamiya says spot colors for this one, dark green or red brown. They say dark green. The actual color is this one here. This is Vallejo's 71092 Olive Grün, RAL 6003, which matches that. It is actually a medium olive color, and that's the color I'm going to be using to put the spots on the Marder II. So pretty straightforward. Just put all the spots on it. Be very careful not to get too much spread with the airbrush, and I think we should be fine. All right, so let's get on and finish this beastie off. So the method I chose to duplicate the spot pattern of the camouflage on the Marder II was the old sponge and dab method. Alright, it's quite a simple system. If you've never used it before, I've used it on 48 scale Luftwaffe aircraft. You can use it on almost anything. So it's literally just, this is an old kitchen sponge. Tear a section off. Either put it in your tweezers, or like this is a part clamp. Get your paint, and as you can see, this is what I suggest you do. You don't have to paint it, but I suggest you grab a piece of paper and practice your dabbing. Sometimes you'll get too much paint and sometimes not enough. I went over the Marder about 2 or 3 times for each spot. I just put some stuff down, had a look at it, went and did some more, and eventually got to the point where I'm happy to say it looks pretty much like the original paint. Not perfect, but the kind of paint job you'd get if the crew was in a hurry to camouflage a tank, got the spray gun, put 2 or 3 spots in the same spot, and then moved on to something else. Alright, so that's the dab method if you haven't seen it before. It does work really well for this, but I do suggest you practice on a piece of paper and just take your time. So as you can see, she's just about complete now. All of the tools are on, the decals are on, all the details have been painted and finished off, including the winding handle on the front here, the boxes and everything. The MG is in. So all we have to do now is weathering, and that's going to be fairly straightforward. I'm going to give the Marder a light sepia wash on the upper hull features, just a bit of pin wash and some of the pin wash on the running gear, and then we're going to have mud. Okay, so here she is, all done. She's got 2 coats of matte varnish on her. All the tracks and running gear has been nicely muddied up. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. The interior looks really nice. Thoughts on this kit? Definitely. It's a Tamiya kit. It goes together well. Everything seems to fit fine with no dramas whatsoever, and does lend itself to all sorts of different types of weathering and camouflage schemes, you name it. If you wanted to, you could even paint this, do this one in a whitewash for a winter Marder II, because I have seen them painted like that. And overall, really happy with the way this kit turned out. So much so that I'm actually on the lookout for another one of these, hopefully cheap, like this one was. And I'm going to build that one up with a different camouflage scheme or something like this, because I do enjoy this beautiful little kit. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching the video. And until the next one, take it easy, stay safe, and I will see you later.